Okay, so we've got the common ratio of a geometric progression is 0.99. They're handing us that. So that's R. And now we can express the sum of the first 100 terms as a percentage of the sum to infinity, given the answer, or giving your answer to two significant figures. So the sum of the first 100 terms as a percentage of the sum to infinity. Some of you may have trouble figuring out what it is they're trying to get you to do. So let's try to change it to something that might be easier to understand. What if I asked you to express 8 as a percentage of 10? So what would you do? Well, to find the percent, you'd divide it, and you'd either write it like this, or you'd say it was 80%. So that's basically all they're asking us to do. They're asking us to take the sum of the first terms, or we're going to express the sum of the first terms as a percent of the sum of the first, or the sum to infinity. So basically what they're asking us to do is take the sum of the 100th terms and divide by sum to infinity. So let's first find the sum of the first 100 terms. We're going to use this formula here. And you notice we don't have A, we only have R. So we're going to fill this in. And we probably could do a bit more with that, but let's go ahead and go on to the other one, the sum to infinity. That formula is A over 1 minus R. And so A over 1 minus 0.99. And then if I'm going to divide these guys, it's going to look a bit crazy, but it's not a big deal. We're going to do the sum of the first 100 divided by the sum of infinity. I'm just going to rewrite what I've written here. And so I've got this complex fraction, basically two fractions divided by each other. And it's going to look like this. Now, we don't divide by fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 1 minus 0.99 over A. And you'll notice the 1 minus 0.99 cancels out. And if you look again, you'll also see the A's canceling out, leaving me with 1 minus 0.99 to the 100th. And see, that's all I got to do now. Take my calculator and figure out what that is. 1 minus 0.99 to the 100th. And that gives me this decimal here, 0.6339. So if I have 0.6339, they want me to round to two significant figures. If I express it as a percent, well, that's going to be 63.39%. But if we want to do two significant figures, that's only going to be 63%, or if I write it as a decimal, it'll be 0.63. When I look at the rubric, you could do either one of these. You could do 0.63, or you could have done 63%, and they would have allowed for a little bit of error, like if you would have screwed up a little bit doing this as far as the rounding. But when they say specifically to round to something, you got to try to do that. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.